fish to dump in it.
My own money is bothering me. I avoid everything.
Red arrival, the prescription is ready. Maryland Lance, your prescription is ready. Megan Sanucci, your prescription is ready.
Don't waste your time with visits to the pharmacy. Go to www.twc.health/Crowder and grab your contagion emergency kit or medical emergency kit today. Use code Crowder to save 10% at checkout, plus get free shipping. Kits are only available in the USA. Get yours today.
Glad to be with you. Okay, the headphones are set to Gerald level.
Didn't touch them.
They're set to disappointment host.
Is the seat nice and warm?
You did a very good job.
Wait a minute.
You know who texted me?
Who?
Gay Williams. He's like, Gerald did a really good job. I don't know if he looks better in your lighting.
I'm not sure if I like it because he texted me too, and he's like, "Want help filling out your grinder?" I was like, "No, I really don't. Thanks."
Completely unprompted. So, hey, I'm glad to be back with you. And, there's so many people in this office sick right now. You comment below. Is that going around where you are? I didn't get the stomach bug or any of the other stuff, but I had that headache and the body aches. Plus, we had some work to do. So, it's like, something's got to go. But glad to be with you. Thank you for holding on the fort, Gerald. Today, we're going to talk about Eminem. No longer someone who is primarily noted for singing about killing his mother, abuse of women, and murder, rape in general. He's now a political savant.
Good.
Endorsing Harris. You hear that? That's the sound of cancel culture. It's not stopping here. And, Donald Trump is now being accused of saying something effing Mexican.
Whatever.
Something, I'm like Hitler. I wish I had generals like Hitler. We're going to talk about this. If this is the October surprise, I'm over the moon. Because it's not going to work. And it's another story that if you read the headlines, you would think it actually happened. Oh, it turns out it's some guy who's a disgruntled former potential contact employee, who, by the way, is also the root source of a lot of these quips, a lot of these quotes that we've heard in the past. Yeah. We're going to go through all of them. Which one sticks out to you? Losers and suckers, Russian prostitutes urinating on furniture, the N-word tapes at Celebrity Apprentice. All of the stories, the biggest scandals that revolve around Donald Trump are simply based on someone who says they heard it at some point and immediately refuted. Also, I don't know if you know this, Elon Musk, some powerful people want to kill his Twitter, so we'll talk about that. Yep.
I think it's foreign influence. That's the problem in that one.
Okay.
Nailed
Your
it.
prediction. Think this is the October surprise? Dear Lord, I hope so. If this is the October surprise,
No, come on.
Donald Trump said something about a Mexican, which the Mexican's sister said immediately said is untrue,
Yeah,
and the person who was there, Mark Kelly, was like, that's not true at all.
Mark Meadows. You're gonna
sorry, Mark Kelly.
Kelly's everywhere today.
Oh, there's so many Kellys.
Yes, there's.
My favorites are Captain Morgan, CEO. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. I mean, the disappointment host, I guess.
No.
I'm just,
Middling.
Well, that's better than disappointment.
Yeah, middling.
You got to start somewhere.
No,
Are you feeling better?
Yeah. I feel. I still have a headache. I don't get headaches.
I told people on Monday that you were mapping the human genome, and then I was told that it's already been mapped, and I was like, "Well, but not by Steven."
No.
So,
you could lock me in a tower and ask me to map the human genome. You'd find me 50 years from now with lines on the wall like Count of Monte Cristo. I'd be dead.
That's true, but then you also bought OceanGate, and you were revamping the sub program to go dive on the Titanic on Tuesday. So
I don't know what that means, but sure. And when you hear this, You know him, you love him. You can watch him, of course, every weekday here, 5 p.m. And Saturday, November 9th, at the Bridgeview Theater in Ottumwa, Iowa. Go see him. You can see all of his dates at nickdip.com. Funniest man alive, Nick DiPaolo. How are you, sir?
I had no idea what you guys are talking about.
Me neither.
Not a goddamn.
I have no idea. Not even a little bit.
Not even. October surprise is not this. It's going to be, they're going to try a bow and arrow instead of a gun on Trump.
Yes. And it would be great if Donald Trump were to come out to his next rally with the novelty bow and arrow. Look at it! I'm back. Do I have something in my hair? I could see him doing that. He would.
I've been practicing that in the shower. I can't get him down.
I know. Don't practice it in the shower; it'll turn you on.
Oh, speak for yourself.
And by that I mean it turned me on with my Nick
I'm
shower.
more of a
cam.
Maxine Waters guy. Oh, come on.
Whatever does.
She always looks like she's in the shower. She always looks like she just came in from the
she looks
rain.
like a wet James Brown. Oh, my wife just sent an emoji winking at me. How gross is that?
All right. So here's the first story we're going to talk about. And by the way, one of the best ever. Eminem. You guys have to give him that credit as far as hip hop. Yeah. But you know, let's give him. Let's refer to him by his slave name, Marshall Mathers.
I bet he blew P. Diddy. We'll find that out. Yeah. That's how he got his first contract.
There's quite a lot of overlap between people at P. Diddy's parties, Epstein's Island, and campaigning for Kamala Harris. Have you noticed?
Yes, those are. You could do that. Yeah, Venn diagram. Yeah, exactly right.
I bet you someone has, because it's the internet. So he lost any of the street cred that he had left as someone who lived off of 8 Mile, actually, not really in the inner city of Detroit. But I digress. When he endorsed Kamala Harris.
Put lives at risk when I drive like this. I put wives at risk with a knife like this. That take drugs, rape sluts, make fun of gay clubs, men who wear makeup. What do I gotta do to get through to you to show you there ain't nothing I can't take this chainsaw to? Go to sleep, die, motherfucker, die. Time's up, close your eyes. Go to sleep, wow, you still alive? How many times I gotta say close your eyes?
Sorry, I meant he's here endorsing the era of the woman.
As most of you know, the city of Detroit and the whole state of Michigan mean a lot to me.
Looks like a golfer.
And going into this election, the spotlight is on us more than ever, and I think it's important to use your voice. So I'm encouraging everybody to get out and vote, please. I also think that people shouldn't be afraid to express their opinions. And I don't think anyone wants an America where people are worried about retribution or what people will do if you make your opinion known.
What? I also like to thank Just for Men,
I think Vice
Appalachian
Harris
of
supports
Warren
a future
Boulevard,
for this country where these freedoms and many others will be protected and upheld.
and the color khaki.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. And here to tell you much more about that, President Barack Obama.
Vomit on my sweater already? Mom's spaghetti?
Oh, God, help my sister's ass.
It's turning the black up to 10.
What's this, a cool off?
Love me some Eminem.
Do you?
Yeah, you sound like
No, I love them. With peanuts.
the mini ones that Hunter put on his penis.
They got some new ones now. They put they put the pretzel inside. Still got chocolate.
You're so stupid. you could be in Vegas. I know you're rich, but you could be a trillionaire. These are people nobody does.
Why would you sentence him to Vegas?
That's called where impressionists go. You know, residency. You get a room. You live.
Top.
That's right, Carrot Top.
You know what though? I gotta give credit to Barack Obama. I don't think he was ever the guy who like complained that Eminem was appropriating rap. Like the media used him as that, and of course he divided the country. But he's a different cat than someone like Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
because she's really not black. And by the way, no, go ahead.
No, you're right.
Yeah, she's
absolutely.
I mean, she's
Italian and Jamaican.
Yes, she's Irish. She's a slaveholder.
He's a lapper. Go ahead. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what anything
believe
means
it,
today.
all right? It just sounded dirty.
I don't know what anything means today. I'm incredibly confused. Hey,
It wasn't dirty.
we do need the Mug Club Army out there on Election Day. And by the way, Army is figurative, right? You can sign up at mugclubarmy.com. That's a closed circuit email list where you will only be sent notifications or updates on how you can help with our boots on the ground on Election Day to be part of our investigative journalism team. Because election night, the live stream of the century, it's the Rumble on Rumble, November 5th. We will have the live electoral map. We will be able to dispute, to call states. You will be able to see the states that are called. You will be able to see and immediately click a pop-open window, anything that is going on in your community across the country. We are crowdsourcing, reporting along with professional undercover journalists. It's a big undertaking. We're excited. Let's go to guns. So,
Open with something light.
yes, this is funny. So the Missouri Democratic, I believe, Senate candidate is it's Lucas Kunce.
Kunze, yes.
Yeah,
Lucas Kunce.
Watch your mouth.
It's his last name. What?
Well,
Yeah, well, you know what? That's not an accident.
You know who else's last name was Coons? And I'm not kidding. Remember the officer that pulled over Rodney King?
Yeah. Oh,
No way.
that's what did him in.
Absolutely. Bill Hicks mentioned it in a bit, remember?
Yep. And you know what? Even worse, Reginald Denny's his last name was Spook.
Oh, come on.
It's almost. It's not his fault. Sins of the father.
Reginald Cracker.
So Lucas Kunce accidentally shot a reporter at a campaign event. And oh, look, Adam Kinzinger's there.
Tonight, a TV reporter in
Wow.
Kansas City is recovering from a minor
How about this
injury.
guy?
He looks like he did the
US
auto
Senate
eye
candidate
correction in
fired
photo,
a
but
rifle.
put it in video.
Fox News' Robert Townsend is following this developing story from our newsroom. Phyllis and Robert.
Hey, Brent, I can tell you this. Tonight, Missouri Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate, Lucas
Another weird
Kunce,
guy.
is making news headlines and blowing up on social media. Now, we're hearing Kunce
banana in the
was at a
tailpipe.
shooting range at a private residence for a campaign event in Holt, Missouri.
Someone's
That's just north
backyard?
of Kansas City when he fired a rifle. Investigators say a bullet or another type of metal fragment ricocheted off a target and hit a TV reporter.
Yeah.
in
All
his
right.
arm.
Yeah, that happens when you shoot at plates from 4 feet away.
Yeah. What the?
Cutting off the circulation of his arm. Look at that.
You know what? At this point, with the endorsement, I guess they're really adopting the Cheney way of life. It seems that it makes sense. They're all in.
I thought that was Alec Baldwin's trailer for his next movie.
The reporter, by the way, Ryan Gamboa, I believe, he was hit by a fragment. They were shooting a metal target 10 yards away. Let's look at this picture.
Yes.
Let's look at this picture. See if you can see what's wrong with this picture.
I'd say the baby stroller right near the target.
First off, not that this is a big thing, but Adam, you don't need to lean back. Don't be afraid of the recoil. You can lean forward, right? He's obviously not been to a modern. And it's it's 10 yards away. That's not particularly safe for metal targets.
Nope.
Also, at 10 yards away, generally, you don't need a scope.
I know, he's got a red dot on a thing, a foot in front of his face.
Look where his eyewear or his eye protection is located. On top of his head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but that looks cool.
He has to protect the dew.
Yes. So if the bullet fragment hits the top of his head, he's safe.
Yes.
Missed potential.
So stupid.
And he's running against, this is just a funny story, Josh Hawley, who we know, and he tweeted out, "I condemn all acts of violence against reporters and call on Kunce to never shoot another one." That's funny.
Gotta go, Holly.
And here's the thing. People often look at, like, accidents happen. Okay.
Yes.
I understand that. Accidents happen. Even when the Alec Baldwin thing happened, I'm going, okay, it doesn't mean that he's a murderer. I'm sure it's a tough go for the guy. We don't have the full story. But here, look. We have had, I need to tell you this, we have had at least a dozen shoots where we have been around firearms, shooting at a range, or by the way, and having many people on set who have never shot a firearm and introduced them. And we've also had many of said shoots involve tannerite, plates, armor plates, steel targets, all of the above. And we also have many guns around this office at all times, every single day. It's basically an armory with cameras.
It is. Yes, I don't take a move out there.
And never once have we had anything even close to resembling an accident. Here you go. It's easy to follow the simple rules. They didn't. All right, we're about to test out the new Spartan armor plate, the Hercules Level 4.
So you kept the tannerite off of the table.
Generally speaking.
By you put it down
We avoid
range.
explosives
Yes.
at point blank.
Yeah, we blew up the YouTube sign.
Yeah.
We did.
Shrapnel was everywhere.
We did.
Why?
We got an email from YouTube about that. We did.
What the hell did you shoot at that?
We you know when you get like 1 million subscribers, they give you a gold plaque. We blew it up.
Do I know that? No. I'm at the styrofoam level.
Sorry.
It's a big gulp cup.
My last CD went styrofoam. Listen. Millions. What are you guys, fucking high? I feel like I'm talking to my parents when I'm doing my show.
Mine went
And one of them's
double
dead.
red cup. Double solo. So here's the thing. It's a funny story, but then the left will use these examples, say, see, it's never fully safe. You're more likely to be the victim of gun violence or an accident if you have well, yeah, if you're Adam Kinzinger and it's in your household, of course. If you're Coons, of course you're more likely to be hurt if there's a gun in your general vicinity. You're an idiot. You didn't follow the basic rules of firearm safety. And the crazy thing is, you not only didn't follow the basic rules of firearm safety, you added new complications that aren't even covered in basic firearm safety because you have no business being around tannerite and metal targets. But this is not new. Tim Walz, Sheila Jackson Lee, we have a bunch of people. The left has a long and storied history of mishandling guns as they push for gun control. Tim Walz.
Wait, right? How do you give it back?
Governor, what kind of gun is it?
This was a Beretta A400. I bought it when I was shooting a lot of.
And what kind of suede chaps?
Yeah, I know. I looked like a crossing guard at a gay school.
That village person didn't make it past the cutting room floor. I'm a crossing guard.
That would have been a good one. Oh my goodness.
In the elementary.
No.
Yeah, we're gonna pass on this one. Sheila Jackson Lee, now deceased. That's not the story.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That was great. Good.
Famously described holding a 6.5-pound AR-15.
I've held an AR-15 in my hand. I wish I had it. It is as heavy as 10 boxes that you might be moving.
Empty boxes?
That is utilized. A 50 caliber. These kinds of bullets need to be licensed and do not need to be on the street.
Yeah. So I have an old lever action Marlin, and it's heavier than my AR-15. I don't know. It's actually it's originally Arma Light was a company, and it's actually relatively light. And maneuverable is kind of one of its upsides. It's as heavy as 10 moving boxes.
With what in them?
I know. She doesn't say what. Oh, she's. Anyways, you know those people. Go ahead.
But wait, hold on a second. Sheila Jackson, is it heavy? That means it's expensive. Put it back.
Yes.
Oh my God.
What about the 50 caliber remark? I'm like, wait, what? What? Like,
look. Is it funny? But the problem is these people are pushing for policy. It's these people saying, like, no one needs an AR-15. Well, sure, you can say, you don't know what it is. You have no idea what it is. I could literally list for you at least 10 reasons that we need 3 at minimum AR-15s in this office at any given moment. But you're not going to understand this answer.
And the person who makes the coffee is one of them.
Yes.
Come on, folks.
Also, the person who keeps using my office bathroom and setting the bidet on high.
Set it on surprise.
Set it on puree.
Yes.
Power wash.
I couldn't even use that bathroom.
Set it on liquefy lower intestines. You won't be needing this.
You need a pilot's license to run that toilet. Fucking.
It was put in. They put it in the bathroom. Like, hey, it was cheaper than a porcelain toilet because I was like, all right, okay.
Jesus Christ! It's got a clutch. It's got fucking windshield wipers. Some type of AM/FM Sirius.
Undercarriage protection.
Free enema.
Yes.
I stared at it for like 20 minutes. I go, I'm going to shit in the corner.
That was you.
I'm literally seeing stars. I think it's whatever this. I'm not getting air. Now I'm laughing too much. I'm seeing stars. Here's a good one though. Here's just a history lesson. Senator David Broderick. While we're talking about firearms, he was a Democrat senator from California in 1859. Okay, you can bring up the overlay. He was a Democrat, 1859, but he actually was anti-slavery, meaning he was actually going against the rest of the Democrat Party.
What an asshole!
So he was challenged to a duel by the Chief Justice of the California Supreme Court, a guy named David Terry, because of his stance on slavery. And the senator responded, like, yes, I will duel. Well, he missed his shot and he was killed. So he was killed. He was literally killed by another Democrat for being against slavery.
That's hilarious. You can't top that story with a Republican being that.
I will fight against slavery with my last dying...
Not much has changed.
That's unbelievable.
It's just a great story.
That should be mentioned by every Republican for the last 100 years in every speech.
Yeah, instead we have to hear people talk about Strom Thurmond and the party switch. No.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, before we move on, because we're going to get to all of the worst lies that we have had to deal with as it relates to Donald Trump. All the time, it's just somebody says something. But before that, we obviously had an intro for this, but twc.health/Crowder. Just be prepared for anything. It's the wellness company.
Yeah.
Their emergency medical kits, things like antibiotics, antivirals, antiseptics, just so you don't have to go to the pharmacy and wait to hear from someone who has no idea what they're talking about. Use the promo code Crowder. You get 10% off. I told you.
Free shipping.
Sure.
I got one of those.
Off and
I know you get free shipping. I went to a pharmacist. I've told this. It was the first time ever in my adult life that I soiled my pants because of a pharmacist's advice. So we'll talk about it on Mug Club.
Okay.
I was on two antibiotics. I had staph infection, so I was on all the antibiotics. My doctor said you need to get a probiotic because antibiotics will mess with your stomach. So I went to the pharmacist. I said, my doctor said I need a probiotic because of antibiotic diarrhea. And she said, I think this one go one. She was Asian, and I looked, it was 80 billion CFUs.
Thought she was retarded.
And I was driving my car, and there was no warning whatsoever. It was just, I think I have to done. And I went back, looked at it, and it was 80 billion CFUs of pro-regularity bacteria. So I had antibiotics nuking everything in my stomach, and 80 billion little bastards going, take a shit, take a shit.
She knew who you were. She knew who you were.
It's a good one. Take now.
She saw your stance on COVID and said, I'm going to fuck this bearded.
I don't trust pharmacists.
So you drew mud on the way home, huh?
Yeah.
I don't trust people who can't pick a floor. Are you on the second floor? Are you on the first floor? It's a half step? No.
Yeah, behind the glass, up high.
Oh, yeah.
Sell me a token.
One pharmacist refused to actually write the prescription for ivermectin.
Yeah.
During COVID, of a relative of mine said, I'm not going to fill this. Really?
A big box?
A big box pharmacy. I was like, you don't have the authority to do that.
No.
So don't be beholden to their every whim. Because pharmacists, sometimes, as a general rule, not all, know pretty much nothing. Put my theory to test and then comment below. Go ask a pharmacist. Basic information. I went the other day. I went to a place that sells meat. There's a new meat market here.
Yeah.
And there's, with meat, there's so much overlap. There's like choice, there's
I thought you
prime.
were talking about a bar. Go ahead.
Wow.
We're past the gay crossing guard. But and I go to the employee. I say, hey, where's like the overlap? Because sometimes a USDA choice ribeye maybe isn't as good as a cheaper like prime sirloin. And I said, where are you directing me? He goes, this is the person who works there. Manager goes, well, so that one that says choice on it, and that one says prime. That USDA organic means it's organic. I'm like, I'm gonna have to do my own research, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Thanks.
Let me pull out my phone.
Yeah.
Like, I get 15 an hour to stand here?
Yes. And then I swear to you, at one point I was asking about the steaks, and at one point he just goes, that one's pork.
Okay, boss.
Thanks.
I like a good pork steak.
Good pork chop. I have a good recipe. By the way, Nick and Josh both cook quite a bit.
Yes,
really?
we
Good
do.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
I smell a cooking show. So
Microwave doesn't count.
no.
Oh, come
He's
on.
Italian. You're going to tell me, look, for all
on,
the negative
Mulcahy.
qualities of greasy guineas, and there are a lot, being bad cooks is not amongst them.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
Many of my constituents are Italian Americans. They're the salt of the earth. And now I got to go to another meeting.
Yes, it's true.
Senator Gary, you guys didn't know I wasn't doing a fucking Marvel reference. Go ahead.
Was that in Transformers or?
Yeah, exactly.
Which Michael Bay film?
All right. The left, Donald Trump. So here's the thing. I think it's really valuable. All right. Let me know. Do you what leftist sites do you have bookmarked? That's most of my bookmarks, and I check them every morning. Reddit Politics is one of them because there are 8 million something users, rabidly left. The moderators there are rabidly left. There is no balance. You want to know what the left is saying in their echo chamber. This is where you go and you click the tab, most popular or hot. If you were to read this, you look at those headlines. I checked this last night. top 4, top 5 were Donald Trump, bombshell. Donald Trump says he doesn't want to spend money to bury an effing Mexican. Bombshell. Donald Trump says he's Hitler. You would think there's actually a source or a story. Okay. There's not. So, new hit piece, and I'm going to get curious coincidences, but Jeffrey Goldberg at The Atlantic, he claimed that Trump is a giant Hitler fan. Okay, that would be a big deal.
Right.
If you have video of Donald Trump saying I love Hitler, can't get enough, num 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 Hitler. Instead, the article cites 2 people who heard him say this at 31 Flavors last night. They heard Trump state, "Unbelievable. I need the kind of generals that Hitler had." And then hours later, the New York Times, and before we play the clip, they release audio of John Kelly. Again, we'll go back to another rumor started by this guy, where he's describing Trump saying this. But here's the thing. They play it. They could easily have had John Kelly to discuss this. Instead, they play an audio call, and I know what they're doing here. It's a technique they'll do in the news. So it tricks you into thinking it's a secret recording. You'll remember it as though you heard Donald Trump recorded saying it. There's no reason for John Kelly to be recorded with a crappy mic stating that he heard Donald Trump say something like that once. Here's the clip.
Now he's at the closet. Now he's opening the closet.
Sorry, better Kelly. Here's John Kelly.
He commented more than once that that Hitler did some good things too. First of all, you should never say that. But if you knew what Hitler was all about from the beginning to the end, everything he did was in support of his racist, fascist life, philosophy. So that nothing he did you could argue was good. It was certainly not done for the right reason.
I'm so glad that was recorded, and we have a window. So hold on a second. So Trump, let's see. Donald Trump is a fascist who would want to jail political opponents. He's just like Hitler.
I mean, so I know this sounds bizarre. It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We got to lock him up.
Für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe.
That silver-tongued devil. I get it.
That was him ordering at Venus Schnitzel.
I said spicy mustard!
Bang. Pulling up, driving.
Do you have any great pot?
Yes, I do.
Thank you! This will greatly improve my sandwich!
All right.
It's a little hit, a little Paul.
I said pastrami. This is corned beef.
Just different.
Uh-oh, I have a lady driver.
By the way, that was not a real translation. That was
not a real translation, just so you know. We know that Hitler did jail political opponents. We couldn't find him saying it in a speech. So just before you fact check us, fact check funny. Now, so here's the thing. Goldberg's Atlantic article, it also alleged that Donald Trump disparaged a fallen Mexican soldier, and I believe her name is Vanessa Guillen. Or is that? I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. I believe
so, yeah.
So these are the headlines that you saw yesterday. These are the bombshells.
According to attendees and to contemporaneous notes of the meeting taken by a participant, an aide answered, yes, we received a bill. The funeral cost $60,000. Trump became angry. It doesn't cost $60,000 to bury a bleeping Mexican. He turned to his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and issued an order. Quote, don't pay it.
Okay, so someone said that they heard him say this. I said, well, the problem is Mark Meadows already came out and said this didn't happen. Quote from Meadows, any suggestion that President Trump disparaged Ms. Guillen or refused to pay for her funeral expenses is absolutely false. Well, that would be enough, except another fact check. Her sister, Myra, posted this last night on Twitter, X. Wow, I don't appreciate how you are exploiting my sister's death for politics. Hurtful and disrespectful to the important changes she made for service members. President Donald Trump did nothing but show respect to my family and Vanessa. In fact, I voted for President Trump today. So this is important, but where have we heard this before? Almost everything that you think you may not like about Donald Trump, a lot of it, all has been presented with the same kinds of sources, which brings us to our newest installment, Curious Coincidences. All right. Let's go through them. Here's one that and it's just the connections here. Okay.
It's going to piss you off.
So the same exact timing, 2020 election.
Yep.
Okay. Same timing, 2020 election, right before. Same journalist, Jeffrey Goldberg. Same publication, The Atlantic. The same source in the publication, John Kelly says so. That's where you heard of the losers and suckers quote of Donald Trump to the fallen soldiers. Remember? Suckers, you're not suckers. It was used in a presidential debate as fact. Same publication, same reporter, same source, same bullshit. And again, that was debunked by John Bolton, who's an anti-Trumper.
Not just an anti-Trumper, a guy who lives for nothing else right now than going against Donald Trump. For him to come out and be like, debunking that. So I'm supposed to believe this retired General Kelly now? In this story? Are you serious?
So if people out there, the reasons they may hate, we've already gone through like very fine people on both sides, right? Where people don't quote that he said, make your voices heard peacefully and patriotically, all of those myths. But these are the scandals that a lot of people believe, like losers and suckers. He shouldn't denigrate our troops that way. We can't completely prove it false, aside from the people who were there saying that it was false or people who were involved saying it's false. But you know what? I think it was Christopher Hitchens who said, an assertion that could be made without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. And we have more evidence that it's not true.
And they're still running with
it. Look on CNN right now. John Kelly speaks out. Oh, really? Speaks out. He's a brave whistleblower.
Yes. Says Trump meets the general definition of a fascist. Apparently, we need to make sure people understand what fascists really are.
Yeah, they're people who prosecute and jail political opponents.
That's true.
Here's another example. You may not remember. Cassidy Hutchinson. Remember? Bitch Cassidy? She was the one at the January 6th committee. She made an appearance saying that Trump went crazy on his security detail and jerked the wheel and something clavicle, and a lot of you believed it.
Tony described him as being irate. The president said something to the effect of, "I'm the effing president. Take me up to the Capitol now."
Why don't you take off your top?
Bobby responded, "Sir, we have to go back to the West Wing."
Pig.
The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel.
Steering wheel.
This is secondhand, by the way.
Mr. Engel grabbed his arm.
Second.
Said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol."
Listen to the overdramatic.
It's the same energy.
Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Renato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
Okay, so before we even get to that, like the driver of the car testified that didn't happen. He said, that didn't happen at all. I didn't see him try to lunge to the front seat at all. So it makes no sense. But just think of the way she's describing it. It also makes no sense. You don't need it to be refuted by someone who was there, though it's nice to see that, and the media still covers it as though it's true. Like Donald Trump, like he's Hannibal Lecter, like he's Gerard Butler and law-abiding citizen, like, we're going back to the West Wing, I'm taking his clavicle! What? Why would he even grab a clavicle? That makes no sense.
No, it's neck. Somebody says neck. Clavicle seems like, well, we rehearse this and we need to be very specific. It's clavicle.
Clavicle.
It's clavicle area. Well, that's the neck, lady. By the way, this is somebody that told her something that happened that she's now testifying before January 6th. That doesn't make any sense to me. Right. You weren't there. You didn't see it. Let's ask the people that were there. Hey, guys, did this happen? Nah, we kind of drove back to the White House. I don't see Donald Trump lunging forward to grab the wheel. I think I would have remembered it. Okay, next case.
And
Is she under oath when she's saying that?
Technically.
So is anybody ever going to get fucking arrested?
No. Believe all women. That's the problem with that culture,
that was
too.
a woman?
You have women who are completely emboldened to come out and say, well, I saw this. No fear of consequences because, if you're saying it's not true, this is the culture of not believing women. Oh, hold on a second. It started with the culture of cops not believing women if they don't, if they don't administer a rape kit. Then it went to not believing that women have had bad dates. And now it's, hold on a second. We're a culture of not believing women who choose to testify when people who are in the car say it's not true. Then you can't call anyone a liar.
I got my own saying. Believe all movie directors.
That couch is a sign of virtue. Now,
goddamn right.
2017. Remember this one?
Virtue couch.
Part of the Steele Dossier.
Yeah.
This was a big one. For those of you who are new, you may not remember this. They claimed that Russian intelligence had the video of Trump at the Moscow Ritz-Carlton, which was the pee tape. Hookers peeing on furniture, and that Donald Trump had them pee on each other and on a bed. This whole thing, by the way, the whole Steele Dossier has been completely discredited. It was proven to be Democrat-funded opposition, right? It was funded against Donald Trump, and there were Russian operatives who were paid. For some reason, the Russian intervention here doesn't seem to come into play to the left when you actually have a receipt. But if you don't believe me, take it from Trump's press secretary in a parallel universe.
Good afternoon. I'm the President's press secretary. Good to see you all. You believe that? You believe Rachel Maddow has bits.
Does the president generally have confidence in the intelligence community's findings and conclusions about Russia?
No, of course not. You guys made him out to be like he was Putin's life partner. They were riding bare-chested together on a horse. He has a relationship with Putin. He doesn't love the guy, he doesn't hate him, but he has a relationship. He also was the first guy to go see the midget in North Korea. What was his name there? Stumpy. He eats like there's no tomorrow, and the rest of his population, the rest of the people, weigh about 11 grams soaking wet. So he's not a good guy, but we have a relationship with him. And you notice he hasn't shot any rockets off or whatever they use over there. I think M80s they were bragging about on NBC. No, when it comes to what you guys report about Russia, no, he doesn't believe any of it, to answer your question. Any guys want to ask a question? What is this?
I haven't seen that. I swear I would pay good money for Donald Trump. We know that people at his staff consider it. Make it happen. Make it happen. Come on. Here's another one. This came out relatively recently. Remember that Donald Trump said, "Let disabled people die"? It was Fred Trump III, right? Sorry, I forgot. He was selling a book. The book was All in the Family, and he said that Donald Trump said this about his son: "I don't know. He doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't recognize you. Maybe you should just let him die. Move on down to Florida." That's what he said. And many family members said, "Yeah, that's not true." And it turned out that Donald Trump actually supported the family, and when he didn't fully support the family continually because they were turning on him, they tried to fabricate that into, oh, yeah, that means he wants to kill disabled people. And another one, this was a big deal back in the day, but you may not remember the source of it. Again, these are all examples. Someone said something that Donald Trump said, and it's covered still right now.
Yes.
Still right now on CNN. And then they want to lecture us about journalistic integrity. So you remember the Donald Trump N-word tapes. Everyone said there were tapes out there. Yeah. There were tapes. It was all over the media just like this. There are tapes out there of Donald Trump saying the N-word on the set of Celebrity Apprentice. What you may not remember is the source of that. Professional insane person Tom Arnold.
They have to edit him down. They film a full day at Trump Tower, the boardroom set. It's a set. And what they do is they edit that 12-hour day down to 20 minutes, which is what they show on television. You know, because he's incompetent. He doesn't know what's going on. He's racist. He says the N-word. He says you're right into camera to the camera operators, and they're like, whoa. And 4 times during that, my friends, the executive producers, they had to pull him out. The producers have producers meeting. Whoa, well, you can't sexually harass the women here. I mean, it's written up. Yeah, it's written up. Mark Burnett knows all this 100%.
Where are the tapes?
Never saw them.
We have the Tom Arnold, who's stumbling over his own words, tape.
Right.
We have the tape of CNN and even Fox News, ABC, NBC, CBS, running with it forever, talking about the story. But the source was Tom Arnold and maybe some interns over there at the network. Where are the tapes? They start with the allegation, and then there's never any substantiation. And even worse, they don't cover the rebuttal. People who were there, the verifiable proof. Same thing happened with Brett Kavanaugh. By the way, in completely unrelated news, Kamala Harris has a town hall with CNN tonight. We were maybe going to cover it, but I know you guys don't like it. But then I thought, what if we did a CNN town hall roast? But that's more work.
We'll cover it tomorrow if there are any good moments. I guarantee you they're going to ask about this Trump Hitler thing and an effing Mexican for $60,000. I guarantee you they're going to ask. Because Anna Navarro was on Anderson Cooper last night, cussing up a storm with this stuff and getting very pissed off, and she must be... Listen, the Trump Hitler comments came from October 2021. It was actually already addressed. Donald Trump said, that's not true at all. I'd ever said that. That actually happened in July of 2021. Right. They're acting like this is breaking news. And by the way, he said, I came forward now because of Donald Trump. Actually, people are saying this. I'm sorry, I don't want to misattribute. That he came forward now because of Donald Trump's enemy within comment. Okay, so let me get this straight. You worked for the guy. You left in 2019, basically were forced out by Donald Trump, and he is such a threat to democracy. He is Hitler. He loves Hitler. He loves his generals. That you wait 5 years, essentially, to come forward now and say what you're saying?
Here's the
don't
thing.
buy it.
Anyone can play. The enemy from within. Well, hold on a second. The enemy is within. The enemy is, the current president, you may forget that, current former vice president, who wants to jail his political opponent because he is currently winning. That's the enemy from within. I get what you're saying. Hey, Hitler would have said, the Jews are the enemy within. Right, okay, but let me ask you this. If you ask the Jews at that point in time, who were in a country ruled by the Nazi Party, do you think they would have said, the enemy is within? They also would have said that. They both would have said that. One is right. Donald Trump saying the enemy is within is entirely correct because you're dealing with actual fascists. To say it's fascist for the victim of fascism, to imply that fascism is at play and it is within our own ranks is, well, what do you call it? Victim blaming. And if that makes somebody Hitler, if Donald Trump pointing out the totalitarianism of the left, if that makes someone Hitler, well then you know what? By God, I guess I'm Hitler.
Stephen? No. I'm Hitler.
I'm Hitler.
I'm Hitler.
I'm Hitler.
No, I'm Hitler. I'm Hitler. I am Hitler. I'm Hitler. I'm Hitler. I'm Hitler. I am. Yeah, I'm Hitler.
Nobody's more Hitler than me.
I'm Hitler. Okay, guys, stop. I guess we all have a little more Hitler in us than we realize. Join Mug Club for $89 annually. Go mugless. At least between now and election. At least between now and election, you can go mugless where you don't get the hand-etched mug, but you do get everything that we provide here, including supporting the investigative journalism unit and making sure that the election live stream does happen, the election live stream of the century. LouderWithCrowder.com/mugclub. Click that button right down there. Let's talk about, I guess I forgot. Where is Josh, by the way? Have we?
Tim, do you have him?
I think, we got him calling in right now.
Oh, okay.
Where in the world is
Josh? All right, Josh, where in the world are you?
Well, I'm in Madison, Wisconsin, where early voting is well underway. Now, we're only a few days away from the big day, but there already seems to be a clear front-runner.
Oh, really? Why would that be?
Well, the standard car seems to be the preferred method this year. A few people have failed, but this one seems to have nailed it.
No, that's a pumpkin. That's what it is.
Actually, it's a jack-o'-lantern.
I don't care.
So. Yeah. Oh, and also, this is the runner-up. Looks Chinese to me.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
Hey, get that out of your mouth,
okay.
Isaac! God dang it, I gotta...
you know what? That's enough. That's enough of that, I think, Toolman.
Where in the world is
Josh? So the next story, this is fun. Leaked documents from the British NGO, the Center. Let me make sure I get the Center for Countering Digital Hate.
Oh yeah.
So before I even tell you anything, you know it's bullcrap.
Yeah, exactly.
But comment below. Do you think that election interference is a thing? And I mean any election interference, like changing your state constitution, media bias, burying the Hunter Biden laptop story, voting precincts not working for hours. Like, what do you think is at play, if at all, and which one is the most egregious? But I would argue what you're about to hear certainly qualifies. So the again, British NGO, the Center for Countering Digital Hate, it showed that this organization, some of these documents, that they want to, quote, kill Musk's Twitter. That's actually a stated goal. Now, this same NGO was founded, I should say, was it by Morgan McSweeney?
It's a guy.
Yeah, Morgan McSweeney.
Yeah.
Currently advising the Kamala Harris campaign.
What?
Ooh. Yeah. He's also the British PM Keir Starmer's chief of staff.
Well, this is weird now.
Yeah.
Is that legal?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to do that?
And in what is now a deleted LinkedIn post, a British Labour Party person there wrote, I have nearly 100 Labour Party staff, current and former, going to the U.S. in the next few weeks, heading to North Carolina, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. I have 10 spots available for anyone available to head to the battleground state of North Carolina. We will sort your housing. So let me be clear. This place, they want to kill Musk's Twitter, where free speech actually exists.
Yeah.
No word on if they want to destroy Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, super powerful companies. You have someone who actually works with Kamala Harris. You have someone who has actually been looking to hire people to canvass for Kamala Harris. And for some reason, there's a connection here to the British Labour Party. Hey, British Labour Party, simple question. Why the hell do you have any say or involvement in an American election? We're better than you. It's why we left.
We told you twice. Don't make us do it again.
No conflict of interest there at all.
When people say foreign interference, does this not qualify?
I don't care if they kill Twitter. Just don't touch X.
That's good. That's a good point.
Fine.
So actually, the Trump campaign filed a complaint with the FEC.
Yeah.
Exactly on that premise, foreign interference. They said when representatives of the British government previously sought to go door to door in America, it did not end well for them. This past week marked the 243. I have to say that because at first I read it, I thought it was a plane number.
Yeah.
This past week marked the 243rd anniversary of the surrender of British forces at the Battle of Yorktown. A military victory that ensured that the United States would be politically independent of Great Britain. It appears that the Labour Party and the Harris for President campaign have forgotten that message. Look, let me be really clear. This is collusion with a foreign government from the Harris campaign, period. Period. The good news is when Donald Trump wins, he's probably not going to lock you up for it. Probably. Like you've been trying to lock him up, even though this would qualify. Because this is an actual crime. That's about it.
And you're not going to hear anything about this.
No.
On CNN or MSNBC or any other channel like that. I don't understand how they don't go after this stuff, especially with somebody like X.
Yeah.
Or not somebody, a platform like X. Like, you're afraid of people being able to express their opinions. And if going back to the beginning of the show, and we looked at the Eminem clip, and he said people, I believe I'm kind of paraphrasing, shouldn't be afraid to express their opinions or shouldn't be locked up or jailed or whatever. Welcome to being a conservative in America for the last 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, what world have you been living in, Marshall? Like,
I know.
I really don't understand how you can be that detached from what is actually going on. And free speech is the threat. By the way, last time I checked, free speech advocate, not in the definition of a fascist.
Right.
Kelly.
I mean, yeah.
This is all what we've reported on is actually all good news today because it's blowing my theory out of the water that they already have it stolen. That's why they're telling you it's going to be close, so you won't be shocked when they steal it. They've tried to kill Trump twice, so I have a hunch that they might
be some foul play.
Try to steal it.
Yeah.
But all the shit you've covered today is reeks of desperation, which maybe means what? Are they going to play by the rules this time? Maybe they don't have it in the bag already?
It means that
how do you know what I mean?
It's one thing, look, it's one thing to, for example, if we're talking about direct election, like vote rigging, to do in a state election. It's pretty tough to do that on a national level when states have their own regulations, right? When they have their own rules, they determine how they work with their electors. So it's pretty tough to do nationally, especially if that chasm is wide. So what they're really focusing on, when you say desperation, what I say is what they're really banking on is controlling the media. I mean, this is literally, and by the way, this is not a conspiracy. To be clear, I'm a conservative. All right. At one point, I would have identified as a libertarian because I don't really care what you do in your own house. So that's how I identify. Small L. I'm between small L and now bordering on supporting religious oligarchy because there's no way to correct this through, libertarian. Remember it used to be, it's their own business, free market. They literally created a department of misinformation that was run by Nita Jankowicz. She was fired after a month that was designed expressly to intimidate and silence private platforms if they didn't follow the government talking points lockstep. They asked Joe Rogan to remove some Spotify. And by the way, what happened wasn't a matter of policy, but a bunch of Spotify episodes got taken down from Joe Rogan.
Sorry, Nick.
Did all of yours get taken down?
What are you kidding me? Persona non grata over there. I can't get anybody's attention.
Well, and is Joe Rogan that way? No, but the people at Spotify are going to have opinions. Management's going to have opinions. Ring, ring. Hey, Department of Misinformation at the federal government. We need you to remove it. Last election, they got rid of the Hunter Biden laptop story, right? They made sure that went away because that would have affected the election. Okay, that was enough. This time, there's 100 Hunter Biden laptop stories in regards to the Biden family, so they got rid of Biden. So now we learn about Harris. There's still a dozen Hunter Biden laptop type bombshells about Kamala Harris, so they just want to do away with any platforms that allow for freedom of speech, period. Yeah. X, you look at the foreign governments who have either banned or are suing Rumble.
Or threatening to do it right now.
Let me ask you this. How many lawsuits
11
have you seen? And how many departments were created in the Donald Trump administration for a fascist specifically to punish private companies if they didn't support Donald Trump and force creators to walk the line? How many lawsuits filed? How many threats were... Back then, Twitter was run by a bunch of liberals. He may have talked crap on Jack Dorsey and on Zuckerberg, and he may have said something needs to be done about actual election interference and algorithms censoring people. He was if anything, he was fighting to ensure that they still follow the rules they signed up for, always open. And he talked some crap. It's one side only that is suing or silencing or intimidating entire platforms. And then you ask yourself a second question. I want you to be able to create a sniff test. I want you to understand the why, the exact opposite of Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think it was him. I hope I'm not misremembering where he said, I don't need to understand the why. I just need to understand how it works. I'm not going to be distracted by the why. If you don't understand the why, hey, why did the Holocaust happen? So you don't avoid it. Why are you getting diabetes? So we don't have fat pride. You don't just need to understand how insulin works. The why. Why is only one party trying to completely destroy platforms that allow for freedom of speech? And then you have to ask yourself, that's odd. Why is said party not going after YouTube and Google, and up until maybe this last month, Facebook in the same way? Why? Why? You believe it's because they want what's best for you? It's the same party that just said you got to lock their political opponent up. Do you understand what is going on? Yeah, look, the left is right about one thing. Fascism is alive and well in America, and just like with the Nationalist Socialist Workers' Party, it's coming directly from the left today. This is a free speech election. This election is very simple.
That's right.
First Amendment and Second Amendment. That's on the ballot, and what I mean by that is you vote the wrong way, you lose them both. I don't mean, let me show you, let me tell you the consequences. Do you understand? Let's use the Second Amendment because there's a lot of precedent that went to the Supreme Court. You aware of this Heller versus DC? Just so you know, if the left is in charge, we're talking about the Second Amendment. It's not a bullet button. It's not a limit on capacity. The dissenting opinion said that you, a private citizen, have no right to own firearms whatsoever. When you're not just talking on social media and it comes down to actual justices who have to make a fucking dissenting opinion, it's you don't have the right to own guns. Only the government. And those justices align with the government, the party who says only the government determines what's true and what's not. And only this government determines who's fit to run for office and who is jailed. You want to bitch about fascism because some failed political advisor on a committee says that Donald Trump said, oh, Hitler invented the Autobahn, and that's maybe an okay thing, or whatever the hell it is that you're saying now, just like you were saying in 2020 before the last election? Fine, let's talk about the fascism that is actually right in front of us. Why is only one party going after platforms with freedom of speech? And why is that party that is currently in power not going after the other biggest corporations in the world? Sniff test? Smell it? It's fascism. We're going to play hate symbol or not. Toolman, I also have that other clip that...